Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review. And this movie review is for a film from 2008. A movie that started a whole saga, 11-year saga. And that, of course, movie is for none other than 2008's Iron Man, the film that kickstarted the whole MCU. And kickstarted a new kind of genre for the superhero film industry, or comic book film industry, as I prefer to call it. So yeah, when it was announced around 2007, people just laughed at the idea. It's like, because Iron Man was not a really popular comic book character before this movie came out. He was a little more or less well known. So, some people thought it would pretty much fail. However, that proved to not be the case. When the movie did come out, it was loved around the world. Critics loved it, audiences loved it, comic book movie fans loved it. They considered it a brand new golden age for Marvel. It was the kickstart of that new golden age. It even made a great amount of money at the box office, with over 318 million domestically, and around 585 million worldwide, on a 140 million budget, thus kickstarting a brand new 11-year story and kickstarting the whole MCU. So, what is the film about? Well, Tony Stark, a genius, billionaire, playboy, and philanthropist, son of legendary inventor and weapons contractor Howard Stark, is assigned to give a weapons presentation to an Iraqi unit led by Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes. He's given a ride on enemy lines. That ride ends badly when Stark's Humvee that he's riding in is attacked by enemy combats, and is then held in captivity in a... No, not that stupid movie, guys. I'm not giving puns to that stupid movie. In an Agan cave. And of course, while survived barely, with a chest full of shrapnel and a car battery attached to his heart. In order to survive, he comes up with a way to miniaturize the battery and figure out that the battery can power something else. Thus he builds a brand new suit, escapes his cave prison, and becomes a hero known as... Thus, Iron Man is born. He uses that... Once back home, he then begins work on perfecting the Iron Man suit. But the man who is put in charge of Stark Industries has plans on his own to take over Tony's technology for other matters. So yeah, this is definitely probably, I'd have to say, the sixth best film of the MCU. It's a perfect way to start off a whole 11-year journey, a perfect way to kickstart the whole Infinity Saga. But technically, the Infinity Saga didn't really become really well known as a saga until 2012, which we all know why. But technically, it was a kickstart to a brand new kind of way of Hollywood. It kind of now because of this one movie, literally every studio is trying to cinematic universe of their film, and they're not really succeeding at it. A lot of them don't really come close to the MCU at all. No. And here's why it rocks so much. And one, this film has a great soundtrack. It's got funny and well-timed comedy. It jump-started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is popular and ongoing today. It has good action scenes, and rather than just showing Tony Stark with the Iron Man armor right away, the movie shows how he goes through a few prototypes before building the iconic armor properly. And like you probably all know, Robert Downey Jr.'s performance as Tony Stark is very fantastic, and even Stan Lee himself said that Downey was born to play the role. A very epic final battle between Ironmonger, or Titanium Man, as I kind of knew him as before the whole Ironmonger name and Iron Man. It's a very epic final battle, and it spawned a trilogy of 2 sequels, Iron Man 2 and 3, but they did not come close to this film. In fact, of that trilogy, Iron Man trilogy, this is kind of the only good one. I mean, the only really masterpiece one of it. Iron Man 2 for me is just okay. Iron Man 3 for me really sucks. Ugh. Did it did also spawn the Avengers films, specifically with the end credit scene. And of course, Jeff Bridges' portrayal as Ironmonger is also excellent. Excellent as well. And it even features the awesome theme song Iron Man by Black Sabbath, which the band had written for the character Iron Man in the first place. At least even. Now, and you don't even need to be a dedicated Marvel or Iron Man fan to understand the plot and enjoy the movie. And now there's like bad qualities. I mean, Obadiah Stane, despite Jeff Bridges' excellent performance as kind of a mediocre villain, he ends up getting a suit of armor randomly off screen. His plan isn't very clear. In fact, he kind of barely has a plan. Also the time, and but I think that's kind of the one really bad quality of the film. But all in all, I just think this is definitely one of the best ones of the 2000s. It is definitely among my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely among my favorite comic book movies of the 2000s, and just 2008 was a great year in general. We had this movie, and of course 2 months after we had The Dark Knight. So yeah, it was definitely a sucky year for horror movies, I'll tell you that much, but for other movies, it was phenomenal. Definitely, this and 2004 were the best year for films of the 2000s. So, yeah. This is definitely a fun watch, definitely one of my favorite movies of all time, and definitely among the best comic book movies of all time, and here's how I would definitely rank it. I am going to give Iron Man a 9 out of 10. And that pretty much sums up my review for Iron Man. Now, technically, I was going to review some bad movies after yesterday's review, but I kind of wanted to do a good movie review for a film I consider a masterpiece, but after yesterday's review, negative review, and especially Friday night's negative review. But yeah. All in all, guys, that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. And if you like this and want to see more, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.